What is the message for the collective? Okay. The Empress, the Nine of Cups, the Two of Coins, and the Tower. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, I think this is pretty clear as far as, the message that wants to be known right now. I really feel like it's very much about your values. Like, what is it? I feel like the message is it's really a time to be very clear about what your values are and what you want. So we are all engaging in this human experience, and a lot of research in how the brain works, in quantum physics. There's just a lot of information really telling us that we are creating our own reality all the time, through the decisions we make, through the perspectives we take. We really are, how we are interacting, or how we are engaging in this human experience, is very much a reflection of the inner world, right? So as above, so below, as within, so without. So how you're experiencing the world is really a reflection of like what's going on inside of you. And so I really feel like the message that wants to come forward right now is really asking us to very much be in tune with our goddess self, right? Like knowing our own divinity, knowing how we can make moves to self-actualize and to become the highest possible version of ourselves in this reality. And so what does the highest possible version of yourself, like what does that mean? It's not determined by what others say is important or what others value. It's purely determined by your own values, by what you decide is valuable to you in this life, what's valuable for you to experience, what's valuable for you to possess, if that's the case. How is it, like, your behavior, like what kind of behaviors are valuable to you, what kind of actions are valuable to you. That's really what I feel like this is saying, the Empress along with the Nine of Cups. Like, what are the things that are valuable to you, that you really want to hold on to? And the Nine of Cups in this deck has really been speaking to me about relationships. There's just so much tenderness right here between these two people. The gesture of the face, the hand on the face, really communicates just this beautiful tenderness, and in relationships. And it really feels like that a lot of the things that have been coming through recently have really been about like nurturing relationships. I think that when we do look at like what is valuable to us, what is meaningful to us, I think ultimately it really comes down to relationships. And I feel like that's across the board. You might be in a particular energy right now where those things might not feel very valuable to you, but ultimately when you are able to like kind of put, these immediate challenges aside, I think ultimately the realization will be how valuable relationships are. And so I feel like it's of utmost importance right now, because we're being asked to kind of like make a choice. Yeah. So it's interesting, in this particular card, the Two of Coins, she's holding two coins, but the coins are they're different, but they're the same. It's like the top half of the child is human, but the bottom half is bear on one side. And on the other side, the the top half is bear and the bottom half is child. So, what exactly does that mean? It's like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's kind of like they're the same thing, but not. It's almost like dualities, or um, same but different. But nonetheless, the Two of Coins is really about making a choice, for something. And I feel like that choice is like, choosing the things that are valuable to you. I just kind of feel like right now, there's many things that can be valuable, and like, not to put any judgment around what you as an individual feel is important for yourself. I think the question, because it's like they're the same, they're different, but they're the same. So it's almost like not even, it's almost like not even a choice. It feels more like, you know what is valuable, not necessarily a choice, but like what is valuable, like making decisions about what is valuable to you. Because I do, and I know we've felt this for a long time, many of us, that there's something on its way. I feel partly, that it's definitely technology, and and AI, and perhaps even reaching general intelligence, or who knows what that's going to look like in the future. But I do feel radical change coming. Things are going to look very different. So I kind of hold that loosely, though. And I think that's important, because if we get stuck on this idea that things are going to be drastically different, we might kind of get caught in fear mode a little bit. And then when that happens, it's like you're not really like engaging in life in a very positive way if you're stuck in fear mode, right? So I always remember this story that I remember hearing on YouTube about this particular person who's, in the spiritual community, very aware, and very conscious. And I remember him telling the story of when Y2K was coming, like he was convinced that it was going to be the end of everything. And so he like packed up his family, and he bought what are those traveling home things, like an RV, and they were going to spend the rest of their days before the end, like traveling the world, and, living in remote places wherever they could park their RV. But Y2K came and went. And, I remember him talking about how it was a very valuable lesson for him, that you can have these very strong feelings about things, but they may not necessarily manifest in the way that you're expecting. Yeah. And so while you can be prepared for it, you also don't want to, view it as a given, to the point where you change your life in a way that is not necessarily beneficial for you. So I hope that makes sense. But just really basically to recap, I do feel like the message that is coming through is really asking us to take a hard look at what it is that we value, and take a hard look at the relationships that we have, and if they are nurturing, if they're nurturing others, if they are nurturing us, or even if we have those, if we are even like making those connections, those personal and intimate connections with people or not, because these are the things that are going to be very important as we move into the future. And yeah, because I feel like the uncertainty of the Tower is like that right now, life as we know it is going to be radically different. And a lot of it is going to be, again, related to AI, and not really like knowing what is real. But when you are having like very intimate personal relationships with someone, with people, that is real, right? It's real. So, alrighty.